In recent month, this news that Jesse Lee Peterson had allegedly had sex and sexual relationships, right, with men, is trending on the gay sites, on YouTube, on Google, every kind of newspaper, that seem to hate, if you like, Republican philosophy, ideology. They are celebrating. They can't believe it. And most of all, those who are anti-Christian. When you see the church, the hypocrites, half of the, male pastors are gay. Which is true. I don't know why, but for some unknown reason, the church, quote unquote, seem to attract men who are on the down low. And that is a fact. All they sing in church choirs, right? But however, so people are celebrating. Now is an excuse that we should celebrate gay pride, LGBTQ, everything goes. We might as well celebrate it, because when you look at the model of the church, Jesse Lee Peterson, this guy, he was, quote unquote, anti-gay, blah, blah, blah. And yet, when he was preaching from the Bible, you had the sense he really didn't believe it. You look at these pastors today, and they become postmodernists, they become liberals, but at the same time, well, not T.D. Jakes, because he's pro-gay now. Creflo Dollar, well, his name suits him. He's only after money, okay? Right? But someone like Jesse Lee Peterson, who supported Donald Trump and called Donald Trump the white savior. From the time that you start to politicize, the Christian faith, something is wrong. Jesus he's not a color. He's not white. He's not black. He's the savior of the world. But for Jesse Lee Peterson say that Donald Trump, I don't know in what behavior, in what characteristics, I don't know how Donald Trump can remind any Christian, much less a pastor, that of Jesus Christ. The savior. I don't know how, but this is how far in corruption and deceit the church has stooped to, when you can compare Donald Trump and he says, calling him a white savior, and he reminds you of Jesus Christ. That to me sounds strange. His unnatural love for Donald Trump. Maybe that should have been a sign. But wait for the shock. I made a video exposing Jesse Lee Peterson, because Jesse Lee Peterson denied that Jesus was the Son of God. Wait for the shock. Jesse Lee Peterson is supposed to be a pastor. All his followers came attacking me, screaming their heads off. I says, look, right, I even had the recording. You can find it, right? You can find it. Just look up Jesse Lee Peterson, right, interviewing a witch. Okay, there's another recording, right? And what if I find that old video? I'll re-upload it, right? And what happened was, he denied Jesus Christ as being the Son of God. All his followers, who were supposed to be Christians, they went attacking me. And I'm thinking, wait there, are you in it because you're a Christian, or you're in it for politics? You're promoting republicanism. These people were confused. They were laying into me because I showed the contradiction. I said, how can he be a pastor? He's a Republican supporter using Jesus Christ as a how can I put it, a franchise to sell the Republican ideology. Just like, the church in America pushing Donald Trump agenda, when he tried to become president again for the second term. And unless you follow Donald Trump, you're not saved. They were confused. You can't be a Christian and not support Donald Trump. You begin to realize, wait there, you're giving me a political speech. Not spreading the message of Jesus Christ. But wait for the shock. Wait for the shock. When I became suspicious was when Jesse Lee Peterson, I don't say pastor, he's not a pastor, right? When Jesse Lee Peterson had an interview with a witch. A white witch. And Jesse Lee Peterson said it was the best interview he ever had. How can you be evenly yoked with unbelievers? When has light and darkness been able to harmonize together? But wait for the shock. If you look at that interview, they were into epistemology and there's no such thing as gender. God was only a force. God was neither male or female. And he loved it. He was in his element. He loved that LGBTQ kind of language. There's no gender. And I said, no, something is wrong. That man is not a pastor. And from that, I knew that something wasn't quite right with him. But you know something? Just like when I exposed Kanye West and all the Christian world came for me, I'm right now. I'm right now. Just like I exposed Kim Clement. And I exposed also, what's that other guy's name? Oh, he's always having prophecies. If I find his picture, I'll upload it now. Right? I exposed him. You know, but for someone, this is what happens. The Christian church now is not about spreading the gospel. It's nothing more than, how can I put it, people looking at it to get votes. And they use the Bible out of context. And because Christians don't know the word, right, these people come in with the Democrats, with the liberal, with the Republican, and say, oh, this is what Jesus would do. He would support the Democrats. Oh, he would support Republicanism. Oh, I guess you're angry. But Jesse Lee Peterson, they're now saying he's gay. You know, some of the things he says, like, you know, don't date educated women. They don't make good wives. What kind of pastor come out with something like that? Don't date educated women. He spends his time slandering women, calling them whores, etc. I knew, not personally, but I knew a guy who was straight first, and then while he was straight, he was obsessed with women's lipsticks and high heel shoes. While he was straight, right, always calling women hoes, etc. And in the end, he turned out to be gay. Jesse Lee Peterson is obsessed. He's obsessed with gender. And fatherhood. He's really obsessed with it, with fatherhood, a lack of fatherhood. I'm not saying that, you know, there's a crisis in the family. But when you're so obsessed with it, and you call yourself a pastor, and you have less to say about the gospel, there's something is wrong. You must be dying to come out with what you are. I knew from day one, that guy could not be trusted. From the time he had an interview with a witch, oh, that's my best interview ever, and he was happy. He's never been happier. Why? He was in his element. You know, witches, they don't believe in, the witches believe in a genderless God. You know, God is only a force, and that's what Jesse Lee Peterson agreed with her. God was only a force. He was only an energy. And his followers, they all attacked me. Even when I played the recording of Jesse Lee Peterson denying Jesus as being the Son of God, even when I played the recording, they still attacked me. But I must admit, one guy, he must have been a genuine Christian, who was also a follower of Jesse Lee Peterson, and he said to me, look, I attacked you, but I'm sorry, you are right. that take guts. This guy contacted me and he says, you know something, you are right. You know, and that take great guts, because, you know, we human beings, we're full of pride. When we're wrong and we know we're wrong, we'd rather keep it quiet. But this guy came back to me and he left me a message and said, you know something, no, you know, I was wrong to attack you. You are right. You know, I exposed Kim Clement, you know, and is it Roger Black that the guy's name is? You know, I exposed him. I exposed Kanye West. All the church were behind Kanye West. I thought the guy's a fraud. This is a guy who was mocking Jesus Christ. You know, on his album, calling himself Yahweh, like riding a donkey in church. You couldn't see the parody. And I was right. Now the Christian church is quiet over Kanye West and his bipolar moments. Now the Christian church is embarrassed. They said that Jesse Lee Peterson has lost support already. You know, that guy was never a Christian. He had an unnatural relationship with Donald Trump, calling him a white savior. You know, and when you're supposed to be a genuine person of God, you don't compare Jesus Christ to someone who says that they will sleep with their own daughter, to someone who's gone through many divorces and crookedness in his business schemes. There's no comparison. But Jesse Lee Peterson, consider comparison. Maybe you can tell me. How does Trump remind you of Jesus Christ? Maybe you can tell me. Write in, don't be shy. Show your beautiful jewels. How does Trump remind you of Jesus Christ? You know, write in. Don't be shy. Don't be a coward. This is what happens. And they attack you. Oh. I knew that guy. There's something wasn't quite right with him. And you know something? Yet again, I was right.